So welcome to lesson 7 of the Basic Blues course, and in this lesson we're going to take a deeper dive into how we mix between the minor blues scale and our licks. So we have 3 things in our toolbox at the moment for the blues. We have the chord progression, which we've learned. We've got the minor blues scale, which we've learned, and there's a couple of different ways we can play that. And we've got 4 licks we can chuck in whenever we fancy it. So in this lesson, we're going to look at how to do that, and then it's all down to you to practice moving between the minor blues scale and licks, and even incorporating the 2 together. So let's take a look. So we're going to look at how we mix in licks with improvising the scale. So we've got 4 licks under our belt. That's 1. That's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. And then we have our minor blues scale. So what we want to be able to do now is mix the 2 together as we please. And this is going to take some practice. You're not just going to do this overnight. This comes with time. Practice over the next couple of weeks, practice over the next couple of months. In a couple of years' time, you're going to be better at me than the blues, and I'll be coming to take your lessons. So let's hear what it sounds like when we're trying to mix the 2 together. And I might do it without a beat. So let's have a listen at how this might sound. Okay, and I could go on and on and on and on and on, and I won't. So all I'm doing here is I'm throwing in the licks whenever I feel like it, and then I'm using the minor scale to carry on and fill in the gaps in between. So as an example, let's take a look at how we could run onto the minor blues from lick number 1. So lick number 1. When we practiced this, we held that C for 4 beats, but we don't have to. And a really good way to do this without thinking is to just run up the blues scale. Yeah? And if your brain can't think fast enough to work out what to do next, you can just stay here for as long as you like. You could just keep hitting this B. You could even just go between the B and the C. We're just using the notes from this minor scale, which is why you have to know the minor scale so well. This comes down to repetition. Keep repeating the minor blues scale practice, keep repeating your licks practice, and you will be able to do this. And do it nice and slowly to start with. So let's say we're doing this over our first bar of C. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 bars. And all we did was run up the blues scale. Now at this point, for the next bar, bar number 3 of the 12-bar blues, we could do another lick, but if your brain needs time to have a think, you could just stay where you are. Yeah, so we can just stay where we are, hit the same note, or just go a note below or a note above on the minor blues scale. And hopefully this gives us enough time so that when we move to that F, we can pull out a different lick. Okay, and also what we can do is we don't have to play the lick as we've learned it. So the lick is this. This is lick number 2, but we could muck about with this. All I'm doing here is I started with the lick, but then I made some stuff up using the 3 notes of the lick. Yeah, and I'm just swinging it. If you swing it, it sounds great always. And now we're ready to come back for the C. Maybe I'll do a run from the minor scale again. And then when we go to the G, maybe I'll throw in lick number 3. And what I did in that little example was I just did the beginning of the lick. That always sounds good when you come back to the C. Ooh, sound quite good. Ooh, that sounds great. See, we just added in an extra slide on our lick. So our lick, we could do a slide. We could slide to the E, it still works. Ooh. And I just did that by mistake, realised it sounded great. Now I'm going to do that with that lick. Now an E is not in our minor scale, but as it would go, an E is in our major blues scale. And if you learn the major blues scale, I'll chuck in a lesson at the end. This was just our pentatonic scale with the E flat. This major blues will work. You can switch between major blues and minor blues when you're playing. It will make it sound great. And that's why this E does work. So you could do that. You know, this is just experimentation. So where are we up to? I think we came back to the C and we start again. So, you know, you could forget your licks. This is just the minor scale now. Okay, so most of this on the minor blues scale, I'm going up and down. So instead of going all the way up and all the way down, I get halfway and then just tease up, down, up a bit more, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up. This is a great way for you to practice your scale. In fact, I'll put this in as an exercise. Going up and down, but teasing it. Not going all the way up and all the way down. Bit up, bit down, bit up, bit down. And you get fast at this. One of the keys when you're mucking about with the minor blues scale is to really accent certain notes, and the blacks are great for this. Okay, so this is going to be another exercise. So the first exercise is our up and down teaser with our minor scale. The second is to accent certain notes, and you're just making it up. You could do every other note. Now, it's hard to do because you're hitting one hard. Oh, that's not even in the blues scale. You're hitting one hard and then one soft. Okay, so these are dynamics of the minor blues scale. And this is a great exercise, so I'll chuck that in at the end. So where were we? We had gone up and down our blues. Right, maybe now it's time to stick in a lick. So what lick should we stick in? Number 4? You know, maybe you're stuck here. Just keep doing the same thing. You've just gone round the whole thing, and now maybe you're ready to carry on. Oh yeah, look, I stuck in lick number 3 there. Okay, so that's all we're doing. We're making it up as we go along. And if we get stuck, we don't have to do anything. We can just stay on the note we're on and just keep hitting it. And then all of a sudden, we might remember where we are. Yep, and that's a great way to finish it, by the way. When you're coming to your last beat, end on the C, you can just do B flat C to finish it. Always sounds great. Hey! And it's going to take time. I obviously do this quite naturally because I've been doing it for a while now. I started blues a few years back. I was classically trained, so, you know, I was all... It's all very classical and lovely, but this is so much more fun. Okay, so this is down to you now. This is where you're just going to have to practice. You need to sit at the piano and you need to practice your minor blues scale and the 4 licks I've taught you, and practice going between the 2. It's difficult to start with, but the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. And again, there's no right and wrong here because you're improvising. You can do what you like. And all of the licks are incorporating the notes of the minor blues scale. So it's easy to mix the 2 together once you get a bit of a feel for it. But this is down to you. Only you can put the work in. I've put some exercises up that are going to help you, but you just need to sit at the piano and practice. Concentrate on the right hand. Don't try and do the left hand chord progression yet. Eventually you'll need to do both, but for now you've got all your audio tracks. That's me playing it for you. Just get that right hand moving really well. Use your minor blues scale, use the licks. It doesn't matter how fast you go, it doesn't matter how slow you go. Practice lots of pauses in your improvisation. The listener doesn't want to hear you just going a million miles per hour. Slow it down and just practice every day. And in the next lesson, this is where it's going to get very exciting because we're going to do the glisten smash, which I completely made up, but it's all about Jerry Lee Lewis. If you don't know who he is, please go look him up before the next lesson. You know, he did Great Balls of Fire, Johnny Be Good. He's very well known for just smashing the piano, and, you know, doing lots of runs, hitting it with his elbows, his feet, having lots and lots of fun. So we're going to look at some of that in the next lesson. I'll see you there.